Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nurse Babe Britt, and in today's video, I'm going to compare nursing school with nurse practitioner school and tell you what the difference is and which one is harder. So if that is something that interests you, then please stay tuned and listen for more. All right, so for those of you who do not know, I am currently a NP student. I am enrolled in a acute care adult gerontology doctorate nurse practitioner program, and I am currently in my third semester. And so my experience comes from that and my undergraduate experience when I was receiving my BSN degree. So for starters, I would say my BSN degree was an on-campus program. My NP degree is a online program. So that's a huge difference, obviously. So with my undergraduate, I was responsible for attending lectures. It was mandatory, and if you missed a lecture, you had to really have a good excuse for it. Versus with my nurse practitioner program, it's all at a distance, and when we do have lecture, it's via Zoom, and the Zoom sessions are always recorded. So if you're not able to make it for the live session, then they have the recordings that they usually post within 24 hours for you, and it's the same exact session. When I was in undergrad, they sometimes had recorded lectures for certain subjects, but rarely was it the same instructor on the recorded lecture from the one that actually taught it in class. Like sometimes it was from previous semesters where previous instructors did a recorded lecture, or they did it from home or whatever. It was always something different. It wasn't necessarily always the same. So that was a major, difference. The obvious difference is cost. Grad school is more expensive than undergrad school for me, and I am comparing apples to apples here. When I was in undergrad, I went to a public university, and my graduate school is a public university. It is more expensive, but it is a higher degree. So I guess that is something that comes with the territory, and is an expectation. The next thing I would say is mandatory skills checkoffs is still a thing. So when I was in undergrad, you had to go on site, you had to go to campus to do your skills checkoff. You couldn't do it from home. It's the same thing with the NP program that I'm currently enrolled in. Those are the mandatory dates where we have to go on site. Other than that, everything else is at a distance, but you do have some dates where they say it is mandatory that you come on site and you do your skills check off, or if it's like a presentation, because you do have to go on site to present your DNP project in person. So that's another date that is mandatory. And so they give you those dates up front, and you are expected to attend those dates in order to graduate from the program. Another huge difference is writing. I write a ton, like no kidding, like a whole lot of writing. Like I don't even know how to explain how much writing I have done thus far, and I'm only in my third semester. This is only the first year. It's a lot of writing. It's a lot of research, a lot of evidence-based articles that you have to sift through. It's a lot. When I was in undergrad, I didn't do as much writing, nowhere near. The only time I really did any writing was when I was in my nursing research course. That's the most writing I did. That's the most EBP, interaction I had. Versus in grad school, you have a lot. And honestly, you're still going to write a lot in your MSN program as well, from what I've been told. But if you're doing DNP, just come ready to write a whole lot, because those DNP courses that you have to take that are specifically DNP courses, a lot of those are literally called, like, they're writing courses. And so just come prepared. A good thing is some of the papers are group papers, so that takes a load off of you doing the entire paper versus doing a portion of it. But some papers are individual papers, so it just depends. Also, if you are enrolled in a DNP program, like I am, or if you're thinking about it, then you have your DNP project. That's basically it's focused on evidence-based practice, quality improvement, where you basically pick your patient population, you pick your setting, you pick the issue, you pick the intervention, you implement the intervention, and you analyze your results. That's just a very quick rundown of it. You have to present that, you have to do a poster and all those things, and you are expected to work on that alongside all your coursework. So what you learn in class, it helps you with the skills that you're going to need to actually implement your project, but it's separate. So the deadlines that I have for my DNP project for like with my group, we have those deadlines, and then we have all of our coursework and all of our schoolwork on top of that. So every semester we are responsible for having, a certain amount of the DNP project done, and meeting with our faculty advisor, not faculty advisor, yeah, faculty advisor, and things of that nature. And you have to keep up with all those hours. All that is on top of the coursework. So it can get to be a lot, but that's another major thing versus in undergrad. We did do a project, but like I said, all of that was in my nursing research class. Like, it wasn't something that was carried out throughout the whole program, and we had to keep up with it. It wasn't like that. The next thing I will say is the attempts. So in one of my previous videos, I mentioned that in my BSN program, you had 2 attempts. So if you failed a class, if you failed a course, your first semester, second semester, whatever point you were in the program, you had a second attempt to take that course over again. But once you used up your 2 attempts, that was it. And you can only fail one course, like one time, and get the second attempt. You couldn't fail all of them, or that was just it. Versus with the doctorate program, MP program that I'm enrolled in, you could literally take every other semester off if you need to. It's at your own pace. It's obviously going to take you longer to graduate if you do it that way, but you can take time off from the program and, come back the next semester and continue on with your track. The next thing I would say is, in undergraduate, when you do clinicals, you do a little bit of everything. So it's based off of whatever class you are taking. So if you're taking pediatrics, then you're going to do pediatric clinicals. If you're taking mother baby, you're going to do mother baby, and so on. With the nurse practitioner track in grad school, whatever specialty you sign up for, that is what your clinical sites are tailored to. That is, and when you if you have to secure your own clinical sites, it has to be in that specialty. So for me, I'm doing acute care. So my nurse practitioner track, when I get to the specialty content, is all focused on acute care. So it's no family practice in there, or neonatal or things of that nature, because I'm doing acute care adult gerontology. When you are in undergraduate, when I was getting my BSN degree, we touched on everything. So we touched on med surg, we touched on a little bit of critical care, we touched on psych, mother baby, peds. We did all of that. Versus with grad school, whatever you decide your specialty is going to be, which is something you have to decide before you even enroll in the program, it's something you have to apply for, is all tailored towards that. So it's more specific. The last thing I would say is that I would say when I got my BSN degree, it was honestly probably harder. But I say that because I didn't have any nursing experience. I've been a nurse for several years now, and I honestly recommend having nursing experience before going back to grad school, even if it's not a requirement, because it does help things make sense to you. But when I was getting my BSN degree, I had no experience. The most I had done was volunteer in a hospital, but I didn't have any CNA experience or working as a tech or anything, any medical profession. I worked in retail, so it was totally different. So it was a huge adjustment for me, and I think that is what made nursing school the hardest for me, because it was all fresh and new to me. Versus now, being in nurse practitioner school, I already have experience. I'm sticking to the field that I currently work in. So I work in the critical care setting. So I'm doing acute care adult gerontology. So I'm kind of sticking to what I'm already specializing in, and it helps. Like I said, it is a lot. It's very tedious, especially when you add on all the writing, and that's not just papers, it's discussion posts, it's all types of things that you have to write, and group work, and having time to meet with your group, and scheduling a time to meet with your group on Zoom, and aligning things with everybody's schedule, and being a team player, and all those things. It can be a lot. I'm not going to say that I have not had moments where I felt maybe a little overwhelmed or a little stressed while in my MP program, because I have had that moment. Actually, my last semester, this semester hasn't been as bad, but my last semester, I was like, oh my goodness, I was living a good life. And I decided to sign up for this. Like, what was I thinking? But then I had to remember my why. I remember why I signed up for it, why I decided to be a nurse practitioner, why I chose the specialty that I chose. And, you know, I just had to stay focused on that and get through it. And it got better. So I will say, you know, undergrad was harder only for that reason. Now I have nursing experience, but like I said, grad school comes with its own set of challenges. I think the thing that I enjoy the most is that I am able to pace myself a lot better than I was when I was getting my BSN. So other than that, that's pretty much it as far as the major differences that I've encountered thus far. Like I said, I'm in my 3rd semester, and I'm speaking from that experience and comparing it with my undergraduate experience when I got my BSN. So if you guys have any questions, or if it's something that I didn't touch on, something I could, you know, cover a little better, please feel free to comment down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on so you can be the first to know when I post my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.